11 2 weeks ago for the prior week, and you got another triple-digit gain trade today, and that is in Adobe. Adobe put options early is trade of the day, good for about 136% gain, I do believe. Somewhere in that vicinity, 130%. And to help me go through and recap trade of the day, I want you guys to give a big TTG. Ayo, welcome to Shy.
Ayo.
There she is.
What's going on, Mike?
What's up, Shy? It's, just soaking in the craziness of the CPI day and the roller coaster of the ride that we had.
It was a wild day.
Wild day.
I'm just happy to be green today.
Yeah, honestly, it was not an easy day today.
It was not.
It was definitely not an easy. Today's the type of day where I feel where sometimes people could, if they're trying to trade on their own, and I feel like these are the days that people can really get hurt because you have such extremes. You have this big gap up, so people come in and go, okay, time to get long. Then the market sells off. They get stopped out. It sells off further. They say, okay, let's get short. Then the market reverses, rips their face off, and then they get stopped out again. And you can really get yourself hurt on days like this, especially if you're trading on your own. This is where it really pays to be part of a community where you've got guidance from professional traders, but you also have a group of members that are the most educated and successful community of traders. We've got a couple thousand people in our chat room at all times during the day. Obviously over 10,000 members in the community worldwide in 100 different countries. But having that type of support and being able to get analysis from other people, I think it really saved people on days like today specifically.
Yeah, it was a rough day. I've been trading Adobe for the last few days. It's been like my new end phase, my little money maker. So
yeah. Well, you moved on from end phase to Adobe.
Yeah, because end phase is kind of channel trading right now ever since the earnings. So now we're just in a different channel. So Adobe gives range just like end phase as well.
Yeah. Let's talk about this Adobe trade because you had this huge gap up right in the markets. You had this gap up on Adobe. And Adobe opened and then just started to rip itself higher. So I'm sure you probably have some traders that want to know the stock market opens and you see that and your first instinct is to short it, which ended up obviously being the right decision. But talk us through the analysis. Let the viewers understand kind of what the setup here was.
I start on the daily chart. So all my trades start on the daily chart, right? And I'm looking at that 200-day moving average. The market opened up, pushed right up to that 200-day moving average. I caught this move the day before yesterday as well, that every time we push up into that 200-day moving average, we reject. So although the market was gapping up and everything looks strong on the day, like today when the market is up, almost a percentage point, at the open. But Adobe was just pushing right into a key resistance zone, which is where I wanted it to go. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be patient, right? I'm not going to chase this upside move because on my watch list, I said 345 is your level. I wanted to see a pullback to 345 to get long Adobe up to the 200-day moving average. But when we opened up, we were already at 348 and it never pulled back. So I said, well, my other analysis was just to wait for that push because I was going to be out before the 200-day, flip it and reverse it and short it, right? So although I didn't get the long, I caught the short, which is what I was looking for. So
and I want to let people know also, Shy, just for our viewers, this yellow line on my screen, that's the 200-day moving average. And you'll notice Adobe broke underneath that last week. I believe this was the news that the what was it, UK regulators were not going to allow the acquisition of Figma. Yeah. So that was that news catalyst that caused this 2-day high volume sell-off. And that broke you under the 200-day moving average. And then basically Shy's just been shorting against this yellow line. So like I said, this was on Monday. Okay, on Monday, you got to that 200-day moving average and then pulled back. And then again today, back to the 200-day moving average and then gave you the pullback again. So that's the daily chart. And you'll see the 200-day moving average as the target. I'll leave this line there. Right, I'll leave that line. I'll go to a 3-minute just so you guys can see, perspective here for the different time frames and how the price action relates to it. So now there's that line that you just saw. There's the early push into it, and then look at the size of that high volume rejection candle.
So I got short at 941. I hopped into this week's 345 puts at 185. I alerted it to members. I had my stop at the 200-day. So right where your line is, that was going to be my stop. and we just never even got close to it.
Let me adjust this. I'll write it up for people. Was the stop at was the stop like high of the day, or was it actually the 200?
It was actually the 200
The
day.
actual 200. Okay. So right about here, folks, right about here. So I'll draw this out for you. So there you have it. So there's the entry after the rejection at the 200-day moving average, and then the stop loss becomes 200-day moving average, and there's the entry on the puts. And you said it was this Friday's expiration, the
345.
345s. So there you guys have it. So it was the May 12th. So this Friday's expiration put option, the 345 strike put in at $1.85 on this rejection candle. Get Shy.
And this one, I had to be a little bit more patient, but as you can see, we started to form like this lower highs, just lower highs forming this nice little wedge, as you see, like from the top of it. And I just drew a line, and I said, if we don't break above that, I'm just gonna sit in it.
Right.
So I just sat in it all day. So I didn't get the move until lunchtime. So at 12:21, I took profit at 250, and then at 1:12, I took profit at $4. 128, I took profit at 430, and then I took my final piece at 131 at 370. So when we broke back above the trade line.
Right. So there's the entry, guys, and there's first, second, third, final take profit, and it's this take profit right here that was good for over, I believe, 130.
Yeah, over 130% gain.
Yeah,
Yep.
over 130% gain on this take profit right here. And that is good for another triple digit gain. And this was trade of the day, easily by far. Trade of the day going for over 130% gain on that initial entry.